Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another recent deck roundup. Before I jump into it, are we obsessed with this cloth? It is, Peggy quilted this. It's beautiful. It's on top of my other normal cloth because that's how I roll. Also, pro tip, if you are the type like me that likes to change out what you put your cards on and like what you put on your table, having another piece of cloth underneath is actually really great because then it doesn't slide around. It stays in place. I can like do this and nothing happens. Isn't it beautiful though? Like there's the top. There's the bottom. It's a hexagon shape with the pentacle in the center. It's so pretty. Anyways, if you like that, stay tuned for something fun in the middle of this video. Just saying. Okay, today we are going to be looking at all of the decks, books, etc. related that have come in to my collection since the last time I made one of these videos. There's a lot, okay? And it's not even everything because as we speak, at the time that I'm filming this, I should say, there is a box winging its way across to me from Llewellyn. They're sending me a few things to take a look at, and I will be filming another video recapping that stuff. But for now, this is everything that has either been sent to me for review or purchased. I think about 90% of it, 99% of it is purchased today. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in no particular order because I literally just have a chaotic stack next to me. So we're just going to dig in. All right, let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the Old Ways Magic Oracle. So here's the story. I already have the Old Ways Magic Oracle, but the copy that I have is the original one that had 36 cards, I believe. I don't think it says anywhere on the box, but this one had 36 and this one has 50 something. So let's take a look at it. Really excited. I don't care about the tuck box, but definitely excited about the little guidebook. Let's take a little side by side. My old one is not in order or anything, and I'm hoping to be able to still use this bag for the cards, but we'll see. The backs are the same, but yeah, even just looking at the guidebook, like you can tell it's such a difference. So the first one had, yes, 36 cards, and the new copy, the new version has 50. Is it 50 exactly? Yeah, it's 50 exactly. But the entries seem very similar, which is great, like as far as like what you're getting. This is such a stunning deck, and well, I guess I'm not going to show the old one. Might as well just show the new one. So let me put this back in its box, because this I will eventually be looking for a new home for. It is going to go in my purgatory for now, and then we'll revisit it later when I'm ready to deal with it. But this new one, oh my gosh. Okay, there's something about the edges of this card I don't like. There's like a texture. That was the case on the other one too. I think these might be Game Crafter cards. I'm literally just pulling that out of my butt. I have no proof. It's a vibe because I feel like I got another deck that also had that kind of funky texture on the sides of the cards. But anyway, it's not the worst thing ever. It shuffles beautifully, and these cards do have a smooth, I don't think they're linen textured, but they almost feel like they could be, if that makes any sense. There's like a subtle texture to the surface of the card. But in any case, if you have not seen this, it's an absolutely stunningly beautiful Celtic-based Oracle deck. I am obsessed with the artwork. I think it's breathtaking. Let's take a look at some cards a little further on down the deck. Although I believe that the additions were made throughout. They weren't just made like at the end. They weren't just tacked onto the end. Because there is sort of a vibe to this deck, and so there's some bookending. I love this card. This offerings card is so beautiful. But one of the things that I really fell in love with is using this deck beside the Witch Sister Tarot. So let me just show that real quick so we can see what that looks like. But the Witch Sister Tarot is such a wild, raw kind of vibe, and because the Witch Sister Tarot is so intense and colorful and borderless, I feel like looking at it next to the Old Ways Magic Oracle, it really works. It really works. Let me just flip this over so I keep the order. But you really get a feeling. And they both feel like they tap so intensely into sort of Celtic land and magic and otherworldliness. And I feel that in both of these so well. I also think this might go well with Tarot of the She. In fact, let's just... Oh, look what I've done. I can't be trusted to make normal people piles. Okay, let me just see, actually. I'm curious what it would look like next to Tarot of the She. So let me just put this away. But these are, with Witch Sister, I pretty much consider it like a perfect pair. So let me grab Tarot of the She, mostly because I'm curious. I am tempted to get another copy of this and retrim it because my copy is trimmed a certain way, and I don't know. I like it, but it could be better. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I don't care if this deck gets out of order, because I'm not planning to do anything specific with it. The cards are quite big. Let's see if I can show that on camera here for you. This one is one that I feel like shuffles. The cardstock's really flexible, but it's quite a stretch. I feel like I have stretchy hands. It's quite a stretch. Like they're big cards, but they're beautiful to put out on like an altar. Okay, let's try that again. Just shuffle this up a bit, and then I don't have to care so much about the order. Okay, so we have this B card on top. Put that in the center of our star. Okay. Oh, see? There. Tarot of the She has a wildness to it as well. And yeah, look at that right away. Oh my gosh. The Sun and Insight's Voyage and then Harmony. Oh my gosh. Connect with Dancer 9, Make a Wish, and the Emperor. Yeah, this really, really works. Which is funny because I don't really feel like I have a lot that I can pair with Tarot of the She. I do use it a lot with Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, but they're not a very visually cohesive pair. They're an energetically cohesive pair for me in my practice. Yeah, these work really well. Look at this. And I feel like this kind of grounds the Tarot of the She, brings it back into the world a little, because Tarot of the She feels very much like it takes us outside the world and into the world of Fae, which is great, except for it can feel a little ungrounded at times. Like this is really great. It really kind of brings us back to the world. Love that elemental card. Liminal. Yes. So I think this is really good. I think these definitely pair, but typically I have this deck paired pretty permanently with Witch Sister. I feel like they're energetically, they just make a really good combo. But let me pop these away, because obviously the point of this is not to pull out another million decks at the same time, but this is apparently how I roll. So I'm going to pop these back in the bag without the tuck box, and that should work. Yay, it works. Okay, so these two are going to get put away in my stuff. Okay. Okay, let's look at a book next, because I'm just obsessed and want to talk about it. So some of you may know that in the Unicorn Fam channel membership, we have a book club and we read fiction and nonfiction together, usually with some sort of tangential relationship to witchiness or fantasy or magical worlds or whatever when we're reading fiction. And we read in the book club Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This I became quickly obsessed with. It is probably, I would say it's in my top 3 books of all time. I absolutely loved it. It is literally the definition of cozy fantasy. I think this was really the kickoff for that genre in the first place. It's incredible. I did pick up Bookshops and Bone Dust and read it after. This book was printed or published after Legends and Lattes, but it is a prequel. So our main character, Viv, who is this character here, this is Viv in her younger days. Anyways, I absolutely love these. If you are into like Dungeons and Dragons and you want to read about like basically a retired Dungeons and Dragon orc fighter kind of person, it's fabulous. The vibes are on point and I love these books so much. So I now have both in audiobook format as well. I think I at least have Legends and Lattes in audiobook. I don't know if I have Bookshops and Bone Dust yet, but anyway, shortly after finishing this book, I was obsessed with finding a pretty copy, and I couldn't find a pretty like hardcover copy, but I did find a Kickstarter campaign for a special edition, and it just came in and I'm so excited. I pre-ordered this. I want to say I pre-ordered this right after the book club finished reading this, and I mean like worlds difference, as you can tell. This is stunning. Now, if you are excited about this, before you run off and buy this, I have more news about pretty copies of Legends and Lattes, so don't rush ahead, but it has a beautiful dust jacket. Oh my God, the art. So if we look at the actual physical book itself, it has this gorgeous black and white illustrative art, this beautiful, beautiful binding. It's absolutely stunning. And then, let's get this out of the way for a second. And then when you open it up, oh my God, I love the feels. The art is just, it's really, really pretty. The pages are gold edged. There is a ribbon bookmark built in. And the way that this is written, there is art that shows up here and there, little sketches that show up throughout the book. It's not a lot. It wasn't originally an illustrated book, but you do get these little bits, which are great. And I think are going to really bring the world to life. And I'm so excited to read this edition. And I love, when I really fall in love with a book, I really, really like the kind of book I know I'm going to reread again and again. That's when I want to get a physical hardcover copy of it. And I do actually most of my fiction reading on Kindle, but I mean, look at the illustrations. So we have that in the back. Just beautiful. So excited this came in. Very, 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 very happy with the fact that I pre-ordered this. This is by Wraithmarked Publishing, and it's just gorgeous. However, this came in and I went looking. I can't remember why, or maybe it was just recommended to me on Amazon, but there are special edition hardcover copies coming out mass market as well. This was an independently published special edition, but there is a mass market copy, like beautiful hardcover copy of both Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust. I think they're due out middle to end of next year. I will probably pick both of those up as well because, again, I am legitimately obsessed with this book and very, very excited to have such a gorgeous copy. But I will want to see the other editions too because I'm a nerd and I love this book. Okay, let's talk about another book. So this is a book that I actually picked up. There's a couple books. We'll actually cover a couple more books. This is a book that I picked up when Dawn Michelle was in town visiting, and I think we both picked this up. But this is Tarot of the Divine, a handbook. I had this, okay, there's such a twisted tale about this. This was on my wish list for a long time while I had Tarot of the Divine, the tarot deck, in my active collection. But I put this in purgatory maybe a year ago. It's been a long time. I haven't had it out in a long time. And I want to tell the story of why I bought this and like what the story is. So the thing about the Tarot of the Divine is I think it's really, really beautiful. It does a few things really well. When it comes to like a fairy tale based or story based tarot, this is one of the best ones I think that there have ever been. I really love the wide range of cultures represented, the wide range of people represented. Even though it is based in folklore and story, the cards themselves do depict the meaning of the card at face value. So for example, the Seven of Wands looks like a Seven of Wands. And the court cards might be a little trickier, but like for the most part, you can see the RWS composition still in the card, right? And so the story is another layer. I ended up tabling this, or I guess putting it into purgatory, because I found that I really wanted that other layer, but it was inconvenient to get to the other layer. So let me explain what I mean. So the guidebook that comes with the cards is, I think, lacking, frankly. It does the job. It gives you the name of the story that's featured in each card, where it comes from. So for example, Nanahuatzin is Mexico Aztec mythology. Then it tells you what the card means. Then it tells you the upright and reversed keywords. It's pretty simple, but it doesn't tell you anything about why the card meaning ties in with the story or anything about the story. So the solution to that, when this deck first came out, most of our solution to that was to pick up this book, which is called Beneath the Moon, and it's by Yoshi Yoshitani, who's the same creator of the Tarot of the Divine. This is a beautiful book. I love this book. I've read this book, and it does give you a story. Now, these are meant to be coffee table snippets of these stories. They're not meant to be like a resource, in my opinion. I don't think this is meant to be like a reference for the stories. And I have heard that there are some inconsistencies. There might be some inaccuracies. I'm not looking at this as absolute reference for this material. It's more like I want to get an idea of roughly what the plot line of the story is so I can tie it into the meaning of the card. But this book did that just by telling the story, but it doesn't actually talk about the tarot meaning. So this told the stories but didn't have the tarot. This little guidebook that came with it kind of had the tarot but not the stories. So, but these are all beautiful products all by themselves, and they're worthwhile all by themselves. They do all function the way they're meant to function. So I'm not in any way saying that like it was a ripoff or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But this was coming out. And I had this on my list, but I wasn't sure what to expect. I had a chance to look at a physical copy in a local store, and I got excited because the way this is set up, it is a journal. It's set up as a like half bullet journal and half write up. What I think this does very, very well. So let's go to that same story. What was that? What was the example I just used? It was the Mexican story. I'm not going to be able to remember now. Okay, let's just pick an obvious one. Let's pick the Nine of Wands because we just had her out. Okay, so let's find her. Where was she? I just had her in hand. Yeah? Yeah, there she is. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. So this is Vasilissa. I always say Vasilla. This is Vasilissa the Beautiful. So it says that up here on the top. So it says Nine of Wands, Vasilissa the Beautiful. Gives us the three keywords: defense, tenacity, and resilience. These are keywords for the Nine of Wands. Down here at the bottom in this circle, it says Russia and Russian fairy tale. And then it says the Nine of Wands represents persevering through fatigue. Fair. But then we have this little section. This might seem like such a basic thing, but this has a little section called symbolism. So it tells you what's on the card or who and how it connects to the meaning. So for example, Vasilissa, put through a list of impossible trials, she is still polite and kind, steadfastness, loyalty, purity, and truth. Her doll, selflessly cared for by Vasilissa, it saves her in return reciprocity and familial love. Then we have Skull Fence, that's this. Past failures, a warning to stay true to your convictions. Baba Yaga, who we see, she's present through her house in the back. A powerful figure of mixed morality and unpredictable authority. Then the gladiolus flowers are here. Strength of character, faithfulness, sincerity, and integrity, never giving up. So what I've gotten from all of this is little tidbits from the story and from the card that tie into the meaning of the card. Does that make sense? And then at the bottom, there's reflections. What opposition am I facing? Am I anticipating something? What gives me strength when I face difficulties? Where can I find support? How can I stay kind while under pressure? And I feel like, that's very functional as guidebook entries. I wish that this had been what was included, frankly, in this. I think that this is much more functional for giving us the meaning of the cards. And this, plus this little paragraph in here, would have been perfect. So in my perfect world, what's going to happen is I'll be able to use this as the guidebook for this deck and use that as a jumping off point. And I think this will also encourage me to come back to Beneath the Moon, read the story. So for example, if we look up the story for, is there a table of contents? Yeah, there is. So if we look up Vasilissa, hopefully she's in here. And see, this is the other thing. This doesn't have all of the stories. And I don't, oh, there it is, Vasilissa the Beautiful on page 93. Okay, so let's go to Vasilissa the Beautiful on page 93. So I could then, if I wanted to, read this story so that I understand what's being referred to, then go into this. And I get it, this is extra. But I feel like the artwork in this deck is worth a second chance. And every time I've had the chance to potentially get rid of this, so it's been in purgatory a long time, I've had inquiries about it and I've never taken them up on it. So clearly it's not meant to go. So I think I want to spend a little time using this as the guidebook, maybe rather than this, and maybe even looking up my own resources for these stories, but then just referring back to the symbolism on the card to tie into the story and see what it means. And then as far as the blank journal pages on the right side of every card entry, I don't know. I don't know if I'll use that to make notes. It might be fun to do a deep dive study of this deck where I literally pull a card a day and fill out, like literally reflect and journal these questions or my answers to these questions. Like pull this, read the story, consider the symbology, write about it. That might be a cool way to explore. Or this could be also a cool practice to add on to, say, a card a day pull from the RWS Tarot, where I pull or whatever deck, I pull a card. So my card of the day today maybe is the Lovers. And then in the evening, maybe I read the Beauty and the Beast story from Beneath the Moon, reflect on this entry, answer these questions, and just see what it feels like. So I don't know. I haven't decided if this is going to be something I write in. I'm tempted not to because it is a really nice copy, and I get kind of funny once I write in books. They start to feel like I have so many partially filled journals that I never kept because I couldn't get into a groove with it. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I know it's a lot, but this deck is so pretty, and I want to be able to get the layers of meaning from the story from this book, from this deck. And I love story. And again, it is the most well done story-based tarot I have encountered to date. And I have had some of the most well-known ones in my hands in the past. So we shall see. We shall see. But I'd like to give it a try, and this book is my opportunity to give it a try. Now, this was also on sale at the bookshop. I think I got this for like 12 bucks Canadian or something, so I didn't pay a lot for it. It's a little experiment to see if that can be the thing that helps me bring this deck back into my rotation. So that was a lot of babbles about that, but that was what I had to say about it, okay? The other book I picked up, this was also on sale and I'm very excited about, is The Great Book of King Arthur and His Knights of the Round Table by John Matthews. This has been on my list and actually sitting in my Amazon cart for months. This is the King Arthur book that I want to read to prep for a possible HalloQuest one day. And so this particular version, I really respect John and Caitlin Matthews as authorities on Arthurian legend, but also quite a few subjects. Actually, I've really enjoyed both of their takes on things in the past, so I feel like I know this is going to be good. It also looks beautiful, which is exciting. It really has a coffee table book vibe to it. And what I understand from, so look at this artwork, these plates and things, really beautiful. But what I understand from this is that it does retell the stories from Le Morte d'Arthur, as well as adds additional content. So I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff in here. I'm really excited about it. I do tend to have the most memorable information about the King Arthur or the Arthurian legends from, what's the word? Adaptations, and not from the original. I have been slowly reading the original Le Morte d'Arthur, which is tricky to read, but is actually not terribly long. I have that on my Kindle, and I've been kind of playing with reading that a little bit, but I like the idea of reading something that's written a little bit more in a modern tone so that it's easier for me to digest. But I mean, like, look at this. So I think this is going to be really fun to read when I have some time to really dig into it, and it's beautiful. And I love the idea of having like one good Arthurian book on my shelf, because all of my other source material for Arthurian legends are all basically in my Kindle, and I don't have anything physical. So very excited about that. Okay, let's step away from books and talk more decks. So this is a deck that I spoke about, I want to say it was during a Hot Takes, and the creator very kindly sent me a copy of the deck. This is called the Microcosmic Oracle by Julia Y. I got excited about this because of the manner of its creation. I thought it was really, really cool as far as art goes. The packaging in this is absolutely lovely. We've got a magnetic box, which is great. I love this no AI thing on the back. That's awesome. I wonder if we're going to start to see that more. That would be cool, actually. Just to know, like, just to know for sure when you pick up a product, because I ask the question sometimes and other people ask the question sometimes, and then you can make an informed decision about how you feel about that, right? But I love that she color-coded tabs. I almost, when I saw this, actually, when this came in, I actually got this in a bit ago, but I think the author was waiting for the creator was waiting for some copies to come in into stock so that people can actually buy it. So I held off on sharing it, but when I saw the way she did the little tabs, I'm like, that's kind of closer to how I used to hand mark my tarots. And I almost changed the layout of Unicorn's Journey Guidebook to be tabs instead of gradients, but I like my gradients. I think they're pretty. Anyways, I'm babbling. I'm going to stop babbling. Okay, this is a deck that features, it's got really nice, like dark blue rainbow, like navy rainbow holographic. Maybe that's black. Y'all, I can't tell. Let's just hold it next to black. It's blue, right? It's like a blue holographic. It's pretty. It's pretty, that's what it is. This is an astrological oracle. So it has Sun in Aries. So you have different planets. So we have Sun in Aries, Sun in Taurus, Sun in Gemini, etc. Here's the thing about this. I was really just astounded by the three-dimensional nature of the artwork. So you can kind of tell on this card, but it was painted, but then there was these like string that was like put over top to create this sort of spread outness. These like mandalas, or I don't know what you call these, like sigils, are made with string that is literally physically, like there's like nails put into the artwork, or like pop-ups for the paper. The fact that this came through in card form so well is really amazing to me, because it's not a flat thing you can just put on a scanner, you know, and scan. It is three-dimensional physical art, and I mean, it's just beautiful. So the way that this is set up, sorry, I was going to talk about how it was set up and got distracted by the art. There's a lot of cards in here too, by the way. There's 60. So if you want a good, like, chunky oracle deck. But in any case, you have Sun in the various signs. So you should have 12, I'm guessing. Yeah, 12. So the Sun in all the signs. Then you have the Moon in all the signs. Mercury in all the signs. Venus in all the signs. Mars. Is that it? And then Mars. So the major planets. And that is how this deck is set up. It's on a really nice, smooth, glossy-ish cardstock. Pretty classic. It's like a classic type finish. And then in the guidebook, which is no tiny guidebook, you have really nice meaty entries for every card. So you get, for each card, you get the animal, the plant, the element, the number, an interpretation, a reversed interpretation, and then a whole lot of information about that. And then you get animal symbolism and botanical. So there is an animal and botanical on every card. And so you get that planetary energy, the animal energy, and the botanical energy. I do not yet know how this is going to ultimately fit into my practice, but it is beautiful, and I definitely don't have a lot that is astrological, let alone that also pulls in animals and herbs. So I'm excited to get to know it, but I wanted to share it with you because I think it was really innovative and cool. I did babble on excitedly about it during my hot takes. I just think that it's really cool to see art like this come into card form. We don't get this a lot. We saw three-dimensional artwork become cards. I'm sure there's many examples, but the only other one that I can think of are the Mysteries of Mary decks. Those ones were three-dimensional, what do you call them? Little mini altar type things that are set up. I forget what you call them. There's a word for it. And those were photographed and then turned into a deck. We also saw, there was the Crystal Skull Tarot by Jessica, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Jessica Driscoll, I believe. That was three-dimensional crystal skulls arranged in scenes, and that was photographed. But I haven't seen a lot where the art kind of isn't flat, isn't one-dimensional. So I just thought it was really cool, and it looks like it came out beautifully in the cards, and I wanted to share it. This one, this is completely a self-indulgent deck that I picked up. And unfortunately, this is the Neopets official tarot. I wasn't going to get this because I thought this was an Insight Editions tarot, and Insight Editions tarot, typically I have to really be obsessed with the fandom to want to pull the trigger on, because they kind of do a so-so job in their tarots for the most part, in my opinion. They tend to be a little pippish. Sometimes the pips don't make sense. It's a whole thing. But in any case, Neopets is special to me because this is how I met my wife, is playing Neopets. It's a whole story. If you want to hear the entire thing, I don't know if I go into the Neopets part very much, but if you want to hear how Peggy and I met, check out my very old playlist on the channel called Tarot Memoirs. It's a series of kind of corresponding the tarot to my real life and experiences I've had. And my Fool episode talks about how Peggy and I met and how our relationship began and all that kind of stuff. But in any case, it did begin with Neopets. And so I just wanted this. That was basically it. This is mass market. It is actually by Andrews McMeel Publishing. And I think they did an incredible job of this. First of all, it's so cute. It's just adorable. Like I said, I wanted this just to have it. If you are interested in walkthroughs, by the way, I should say this, in all my recent deck roundups or anytime I show a pile of new things that have come in, please let me know if you ever want a full walkthrough of anything or a more detailed look at anything, because I'm always happy to do that. But this is fully illustrated, not pippish the entire way through. So here is the 10 of Cups. Let me show you here's a 5 of Swords. The scenes are super stinking cute. I got this in, and then immediately I reactivated my very old Neopets account and fed off my poor starving Neopets. There's the giant omelet. That's hilarious, actually. I don't know Neopets lore very well. There are so many people that know Neopets lore better than I do, but it was such a part of my 20s, I guess you could say, my late 20s, playing this game and just being obsessed with it, and like the negs. This just brought me back. I mean, the wheel of, what's it called? I forget what that's called. But here's the cool thing. Okay, so I forget what that's called. Here's what I love. The guidebook is very well done. You get a very nice substantial entry for each card. This is fandom done well. I hope Andrews McMeel does more fandom-based tarot decks, because I think they did this one justice. And yet it still feels accessible and digestible to anybody who maybe doesn't know tarot very well and wants like a good, easy access, like entryway. I think they did a good job. So for example, for the Wheel of Fortune, the majors and the minors all get basically the same amount of information too. Nothing is like shortchanged here. But in every time you get a really beautiful entry for both upright and reversed, but then you also get in little parentheses at the end of every entry, and they do this through the entire deck, not just the majors. You get the Wheel of Excitement. That's what it's called. The wheel. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? There it is. The Wheel of Excitement is a game in fairyland. The wheel can grant you Neo points and potions, but it can also hurt your Neopet or steal something from you. So if you forget, or if you don't know what the association is, like let's look at the King of Wands, because like I said, I don't know the lore super well. So that's what the challenge is to see if it's workable. Also, this is matte. It's like a nice cardstock. It's like not expensive feeling, but it's nice. So here's our King of Wands. And the guidebook says about this, that this is Coltsan. He was the king of Sekhmet until his assassination in the usurper plot. You can visit his shrine in the Lost Desert to pay your respects. So like, if you want, maybe you do know Neopets lore a bit and you want to remind yourself what it's all about, there's a whole wiki too. So you could dive in deep if you wanted. But like also, if you look at these cards, right, they look like the cards that they are. For the most part. I say that and then I pull out Judgment and I'm like, that doesn't look like Judgment. But so it doesn't follow RWS composition exactly or anything, but like that looks like a 7 of Wands. I think most of the time it's going to look like the card that it is enough that you're going to get the vibe. Where was the 9 of Cups? I love that. Oh my God, she's so cute. Okay. Anyways, this is adorable. I legitimately got this to have it. I don't know that I will use it a lot in my collection. That remains to be seen, and I'm completely okay with that. This is a piece of nostalgia that I got because it reminds me of meeting my wife, and it makes me happy. So that's why I got it. This is a Kickstarter that came in, the Gourmet Tarot. This is by Gumia, and this was a very quick Kickstarter. It was seamless. It was really, really easy. It was also a pretty affordable deck, if I recall. This is a food-based tarot deck that I just got excited about and had to get. I thought it was really clever. And it's got a decent little guidebook that does tell you what every food is if you don't know. So that is great because a food-based tarot that doesn't tell you would be a thing. But it also tells you why they picked the thing that they picked for it. So I love the illustration style. It's gilded, it's matte, it's really cute. But the Fool as an egg, the Magician as some stew, the Lovers is this chocolate and raspberry pretzel dessert concoction. Green tea for the Hermit. It's really smart with its associations. The Sun, this looks like an, I think this was an English breakfast, if I remember correctly, actually. What does it say about the Sun? Yeah, the Sun, English breakfast. The Sun represents success, joy, and vitality. In the Gourmet Tarot, the Sun is depicted by a hearty English-style breakfast with a sunny side up. It's meant to say egg there, with the sunny side up. Symbolizes warmth, happiness, and the promise of a new day. And also look at the backs as like tablecloths. Is that not the cutest? So I just thought this was fun. I don't have a food-based tarot, and I just thought I legitimately just thought it would be fun. I think that this actually there could be some practical uses for something like this if you're literally like, I want to plan a meal or a date or whatever, and you want to like shuffle and see what would be a cool idea. There is a lot of Asian inspired foods in here that are also familiar to me, but it's not only Asian foods. Like there's hot pot in here. We see some samosas, some sushi. It's very world cuisine. It is not at all watermelon. There's a fortune cookie card. Let's see. What are some of the other ones that are really fun? Oh, this is like stale bread, the 5 of Pentacles, which is kind of funny. These are a specific kind of dumpling, but they look like soup dumplings to me, so that's what I call them. Xiaolong Bao, they're called. And Pentacles for pancakes is great. The 10 of Pentacles is caviar, which, I mean, hello. Page of Pentacles is donuts. I mean, it's really fabulous. We have a charcuterie board for the King of Pentacles and a skewer for the Ace of Wands. This is lamb for the 6 of Wands. There is a lot of meat in this deck, I will say. There is another food-based deck, candy canes for the Page of Wands. There's another food-based deck that is currently or just recently funding on Kickstarter by Cedar McLeod, the creator of the Numinous Tarot, and that one looks fabulous and also has like vegan options and it's fabulous. It's so fun. I almost backed that one and didn't because I had just gotten this in, and I don't know if I actually need food-based tarot at all in my life, let alone 2. So I'm going to wait, but I will say if you're on the fence and you're not sure this one is your style, check out Cedar McLeod's as well because that one looks really good. But this one is called the Gourmet Tarot. Definitely world cuisine inspired, definitely really cute. I don't know. I have no explanation for myself besides it was fun. Okay. This I purchased, and I'm so stinking excited about it. This is mass market. It's called the Rainbow Brain Skull Oracle. This was not at all on my radar. And then for some reason, I think I saw one card preview and was like, I need it. So let me read you the back. The Rainbow Brain Skull Oracle deck, thoughtfully designed by artist Raymond Nazer, was created with the intention of helping you reconnect with your higher self. Complete with a unique and eclectic 72-card Oracle deck. Hello, we love a beefy Oracle deck. And companion booklet, the Rainbow Brain Skull Oracle deck aims to help you explore subjects of creativity, science, philosophy, and death using an explosion of electric colors and irreverent and insightful text. Raman believes that when we see the bigger picture, we make better decisions and become more in tune with the flow of life. So charge the deck with your unique energy and see what messages Rainbow Brain Skull has in store for you. This is also by Andrews McNeil, who has been just doing incredible things in the deck space, like really unique things. I really appreciate that Andrews McNeil decks, from my perspective as somebody who loves and collects decks, I feel like they contribute things to the deck community, the Tarot and Oracle community, that are a little out of the box in a way that I really appreciate. So anyway, let's get into this and I'm going to show you what I mean. It's so pretty. Hollow foiling all over the inside of the box. I am obsessed. I love that. Love a magnetic box as well. And this is mass market, yo. Like, I mean, come on. The guidebook is white text on black, which I know can be an accessibility issue. I don't know if there's a digital book option. I want to say that there was a reference to that, but maybe I'm making that up in my head. That said, I don't think you need the guidebook for this, and you're going to see why. I mean, this is one I definitely want to do a walkthrough of, but let me know if you're interested. But I definitely do. So let me zoom us in so you can see these better, because holy cow. So for example, relax, it's still just the loading screen. The work is whatever uncomfortable thing that is in front of you right now at this moment. Don't do everything, do the next thing. I mean, they are so good, y'all. Take break from small hell you've designed for yourself. I mean, these are so real. I've always enjoyed enjoying things, literally how I live my life. It's okay, you're not supposed to be doing anything right now. Big mixed barrel of emotion. And then I am brand new. And this says, oh my gosh, I don't know what that says. Oh, you know what? I keep a little magnifying glass for just this reason. Oh, it says a source. So at the very center, it says a source, a baby me, a childhood me, teenager me, and then this says I am brand new. Like the vibe of the card is what it is, but like still. Water the things you care about. It ain't always going to be dirt. I mean, it's really good, y'all. If you're looking for like an oracle deck that is like affirming, but not like toxically positive and also like helps you be seen, I feel like this one is going to be a really good one. And like I said, I do want to do a full walkthrough showing all the cards, but we do have a lot to go over today, so I'm not going to do that today. But oh my gosh, very excited about this for real. And it's matte cardstock. Oh, did I even show you the backs? It's just like that. It's not design. Really excited about this. And then the little typed messages in the guidebook just add to the punchiness of the card messages themselves. It's a fabulous little deck. Speaking of fun and funky decks, so some of you may recall I got the Zeppelin Moon Oracle deck, which is called Blooming Lovelies. So this one was from a prior recent deck roundup. This was a Krista made us do it situation. I do really kind of like this tuck box for some reason, but I probably should take it out of its tuck box since I'm doing that kind of thing today. Anyway, the Blooming Lovelies Oracle deck. Oh, I should take out the little instruction cards. Okay. This is such a fabulous, mine's all mixed up because I have been using it. It's a fabulous, funky oracle deck. Obsessed. Love it. Love the little Narwhal pink bag that I have mine in. Let me put this back in the box. I store all my boxes, but really I just don't want an extra step between me and my cards. So like if I don't need it, if it's tuck boxes are an extra step. The same creator has finished a tarot deck. And this was not a Kickstarter or anything. She just put it up on the Etsy shop, I believe. And it came in and I'm so excited. So there was some extra goodies. Let's see. Come here. What does it say? Come here, baby. Never mind the pricks. This is a sticker. And then just some cute little art cards. Love the art style. It's so fun. I feel like this stuff would also look great next to Playful Heart Tarot as well. Tempted to perfectly pair this with Playful Heart, but then it's got its own tarot. So like, yeah, it's a whole thing. So this is called Zoomies, a tarot by Zeppelin Moon. Same beautiful tuck box. So this is the backs of the cards. They are the cutest compared to, this is the back cards of, what was this called? Blooming Lovelies. And it comes with a little guide to Zoomies, and all this is a little fold out. It's like one of these situations. And it just has like basically a little quick, brief meaning write-up, whatever, for the cards. I don't think I'm going to need this, frankly, for something like this, so I'm probably going to store this box elsewhere. But check this out. So this one is the Fool, and it says babe. And then it says, first they call you crazy. I love the way that her write-up's just absolute legend for the Magician. They just take you someplace. She who they run to for the High Priestess is freaking incredible. Freaking incredible. Home for the Empress and Power for the Emperor. This is a very non-gendered deck, by the way. So let's go to, say, the quartz. Let me find some quartz. Yeah, okay. So here we are in the... I have no idea what suit we're in. That's something I might have to actually review the book for. Words. This must be the swords. Okay. So we have Scholar of Words, Word Warrior, Oracle of Words, and Sage of Words. Never mind the pricks. So this one, even you and me are odd. Is this cups? Yes, this is cups. Totally. Don't sit in a nettle patch, my love. Oh my God. I need to look. I need to see the suits. So maybe I can't put the little pamphlet away. Hold on. Let's just see. I just realized I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to tell who the suits are. So let's see what it says here. So the suits are wings, words, waves, and wands. So wings are going to be, oh gosh, earthly abundance, strength and value, treasures and riches, gifts and golden moments. So wings must be pentacles. Oh my gosh, I hope she explains this. New suits and card names. Okay, oh, here we go. Okay, so wings are pentacles, words are swords, waves are cups, and wands are wands. Okay, but I want to know how you can tell what suit you're in. So let's go to the first suit. So there's the... Oh, okay, so there's a little wing up at the top. So now I'm in wings, which are like the pentacles. That's where the suit symbols are. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. And then words are little pencils. That makes sense. So words are swords, pencils are swords. That totally makes sense to me. Okay, phew. Okay, I was worried for a minute. Then we have waves are cups and wands are wands. Okay, so some of the waves have little like red hearts behind them. It's a little bit awkward, but these are waves up here. So sometimes it's just a wave. Sometimes it's a wave with a little heart. That is going to be tricky for sure. It's a little bit hard to see. It's very unobtrusive, which is great, but almost I want it to be like more obtrusive so I can see it easier. And then wands are actual little crystal wands up at the top. So that's how you can tell what suit you're in. So this might be a fun one to do a full walkthrough on because it's so unique. I am going to keep the little pamphlet with it in the bag though, now that I see that the suits might give me trouble now and then. So let me put these away. But I am very excited about these, and I definitely would like to do a full walkthrough. But again, I have limited time, so let me know which walkthroughs you guys are more interested in or which videos you want to see out of the stuff that I'm showing you today, and I will prioritize those. But these are going to obviously live together as a perfect pair. Another deck that I got while Dawn Michelle was in town. I don't know why I didn't buy this. I said it so many times when she and I were looking at this in person at one of the metaphysical stores we visited while she was in town. But I remember seeing this and kind of loving it. And then I think I talked myself out of it because of the font, which seems like such a shallow thing to say, but I think that's exactly what happened. Anyway, this is a rock pool deck. Magical Spirit Oracle. It says the brilliance of you. On the back, it says, awaken your magic and remember who you really are. Stop underestimating your own magic and deepen your connection with spirit. Let these oracle cards take you on a voyage of self-discovery, a sacred journey of witches, talking trees, creative archetypes, and mysterious portals. Each card shares practical wisdom, rituals, and manifestation practices to empower you and apply to your own life, as well as potent affirmations, spells to cast. It's okay to forget and then remember over and over again. So there's 44 cards. What Dawn pointed out to me right away, and I completely agree with, is that these cards feel complete. I'm just going to show you what I mean. These cards feel complete without the bottom text at all. So like this says, there's a reason you have those dreams. This one says, I'm in divine flow and move in alignment. This one says, you are worthy of beautiful things. And this one is, what if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? Those are beautiful oracle messages. But then there's also on the bottom, we have a title and some keywords. So here we have, there's a reason you have those dreams. The title is the mystic. The keywords are intuition, high priestess, and visionary. Here we have yin and yang, unity, balanced energy, and manifestation. Here we have the servant queen, divine, magnetic, valuable. But I don't think I need those. And it's funny because Dawn was saying she was thinking about maybe trimming this down to just the central artwork. But I think the central artwork is the point to this deck. And I found myself as I was flipping through it in the store, just not even reading what was on the bottom and only reading what was on in this like mini border inside the card. Because I felt like that mini border gave everything I needed. I do think this is really gorgeous. I don't know what to pair this with, but it's a wonderful sort of self-worth themed deck. And that is right up my alley, as y'all know. I love this Spirit of the Tree card. It says, if you're in need of a lesson, there is wisdom in the trees. It's just beautiful. It's time to leave the old behind, rebirth, shedding cycles. Really, 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 really wonderful gem of a deck. And I'm so stoked I got it. It's funny. I think I purchased more Oracle decks, all Oracle decks maybe, while Dawn was in town versus tarot, which is so funny. And then of course we have a guidebook with gorgeous write-ups and little manifestation enhancer words of wisdom built in. Really beautiful production value. Love it. Gorgeous. So glad I bought it. Actually, that's a lot of mass market for me today. I'm just thinking I have, for decks, I have the Gourmet Tarot, which was indie. The Neopets was mass market. The Microcosmic was indie. Brain Skull and Magical Spirit Oracle are both mass market. So like, it's a pretty good blend today. This is another mass market oracle I picked up while Dawn was in town. The Talisman Oracle. I got this for kind of selfish reasons. I like having a deck, and in fact, some of you will know the one that I use the most for this purpose is called the Making Magic Little Mini Oracle deck by Priestess Moon. It's a rock pool, so this is the one I use the most for stuff like this. But what I use this for, I don't use this like an oracle. I do use this to set out and do simple magic just by having a symbol or something to represent the working that I want to do. And I feel like Talisman Oracle is this, but prettier. But I could be wrong. There could be more to it. But that's my immediate response to this, is it's this, but prettier. And it really is pretty. And it does feel magical. It also comes in the box with it. Who's this by? This is by US Games. Okay, in the box with it, it also comes with an envelope of vellums so that you could trace the sigil. So you could take a sigil and literally draw it on the vellum, which I think is really cool. I don't know if I'm going to have the wherewithal to do that, but I am 100% going to keep the vellums in with the deck so that I have that option. Okay. Because I think that makes this feel more like a tool, which is exactly how I use this as a tool. I am also really glad that the cards are glossy, because the way that I use this one is I will often put these little sigils underneath a charm candle and actually burn a candle right over top. Sorry, it's motorcycle season. We're going to hear some motorcycles. My windows are open. But anyways, when you are burning candles on top of cards, you don't want matte cardstock because it can just, the wax might actually leave marks on the cardstock. I've never had wax leave marks on this one. And this is super shiny glossy. You can see just how reflective. It's very, very glossy. And I like that in this case because I think of this more as a tool. But I liked the mix of intentions it had in it. So we have here sigils for balanced emotions, banish a curse, blessed day, casting away negativity, change, concealment, confidence, courage, creativity, cut ties, defense, destiny, divine guidance, elixir of life, equilibrium, which is such a great magical purpose, right? Equilibrium can apply to so many situations. And that's what I was finding when I was flipping through this, thinking of using this magically, eternal charisma. I was thinking of how this feels tied in to so many possible ways to look at it. Like financial security is much different than prosperity, right? But you can expand it that way if you want. Finding love, good fortune, good luck. I love a little ladybug. Grounding, growth of energy. Happiness. We're just going to flip through them all real quick. Healing energy, intuition, karmic justice, such a powerful one to have. Knowledge, leadership, learn the truth, let go, really good here. Luna, magical power, mindfulness, navigation. Navigation is great for travel. Overcome fear, passion, protection, rebirth, resilience, safe travel. And this is excites me actually, because that's probably the card I've used the most. Maybe not. I guess healing, some of my healing ones are the ones I've used the most. But I love safe travels because, yeah, safe and happy travels here. Because I love having something safe to tuck in my wallet or with my passport if I'm actually traveling, to hold that intention. And I suspect, based on this quick flip through, that this may actually finally replace this. This has gotten a ton of use. This will probably still live in my magical toolkit for quick spells and such, but this feels a little bit more rich with the illustration style. Success, union, willpower, and wisdom. All really, really powerful ones. And I love the idea of pulling the card out, laying the vellum over top, tracing the sigil as part of my work. I feel like this is a tool. This does not feel like a, oops, what did I do here? This doesn't feel like a deck. Like this isn't something I'd pull out and shuffle. I will probably keep it always in order. That's just how I envision myself working with this product. It's also magnetic this way, which is so satisfying. I don't know how much I trust magnets that just close like this as opposed to wrapping and like securing on the side, but it's very elegant. The whole packaging is elegant, and this is mass market as well, which is just, it's gorgeous. So the guidebook talks about what the card means in a reading, and then it talks about its talisman power. So it does talk about essentially how to use it. What are these? That's interesting. I wonder if these are worked into the sigil. This symbol here. I'd be curious to see. What does it say at the beginning here? How to use this deck. Charging your talisman cards. Threefold law, sigils, and sacred geometry. Okay, so does it talk about, yeah, toxic positivity versus genuine positivity? Love that. Okay, cool. Then we get some symbols and astrological symbols in the back. This is really cool, especially if you also want to get a vibe for Like, let's take a look at one of these. Balanced emotions. Okay, so the symbol that is in here is also in here. It's just small. It's worked into the card. So if I wanted to focus on this sigil, I might actually get my vellum and trace this, because here, if you look, that sigil is tiny. It's actually down here. So we have the energy for this card, and then the sigil, more simply, is on the guidebook page. So you can trace that if you want, or you could create a sigil similar to your, you could take this, use this as inspiration, potentially, and make your own sigil for good luck and use the vellums for that. I mean, there's so many things you could potentially do, but I think this is really, really cool. It feels magical, and I'm really, really pleased I picked this up. Like I said, I don't think this is the type of thing that I would shuffle and draw cards from, but I mean, you never know, could be. But this is never something that I've really, except for client readings. I used to shuffle and draw cards like this for client readings, not anymore so much, but I'm really excited to have this, and I do think it might replace this in my regular magical working stuff. Okay. A couple of other decks I picked up while Dawn was in town are some new goodies by Soul Trees artist Allison Williams Yee. So I have had Soul Trees decks on and off my wish list for years. And I've never pulled the plunge. Wait, I've never taken the plunge. Or I don't know. I mixed metaphors. I just don't know what the second metaphor was. Somebody's going to know. Anyway, the original Soul Trees, because I was worried they were going to be a little too repetitive. I wasn't sure how they'd work. They don't actually feel like tree energy to me, as they feel like something more ethereal than that. And I have other decks that I use for tree energy. So I was trying to figure it out. Anyway, because of the lovely shop in my area, which is Phoenix. So just so you know too, if you're in the BC area, the 3 metaphysical stores that Dawn and I visited while we were here is Phoenix Rising in Langley, British Columbia. We visited Banyan Books in Vancouver, and we visited Reflections bookstore in Coquitlam, which is the one that's closest to where I live and is my like sort of home shop. These two I got at Phoenix Rising. So this one is called Soul Trees Soul Seeds Oracle. And I prefer this, I believe, over the Soul Trees. Another really expansive Oracle deck. I don't know what happened. I glitched and I just bought Oracles, tons of Oracles over the past month. But anyway, this is 80 cards. So really, really nice mix of cards. It has got silver gilding, and it is, I would say this is a classic finish, like a satin finish. It's semi-gloss. But the keywords are amazing, and the artwork is just beautiful. So again, if you would like to see a full walkthrough of cards, but this is the vibe. We do have some of that classic Soul Trees art, but it's not just that. And the keywords really make sense to the art that you see on the card, which I love. The keywords are really good. So lessons and look and magic, mastery, muse, restore, solution, sprig, transport, unseen, vibes. I would love to think of a perfect pair for this deck because I think I'd use it a lot. I love this little wish card so much with the little ladybug. But y'all know I have a soft spot for ladybugs. So really excited about this one. There is a little like pamphlet, but it's nothing that like I feel like I need to work with a deck like this. This is the kind of thing that is very workable right out of the box, and I love decks like this. So I was excited to pick this up, and then I also picked up another one by them called The Dreamer's Journey. This is called a Major Arcana Oracle. This is the little pocket edition. I love the size. I love the vibes of this so much. Neither one of these have thumb cutouts. Creators, thumb cutouts are important. Put thumb cutouts in if you're going to do a 2-piece. This little pamphlet is on a really nice thick little paper, but it tells you a little bit about this deck. There are cards in here that are inspired by or are meant to sort of stand in for the major arcana of the tarot, but I love the format of this. So this is what the backings look like. And then the cards themselves, this is like a poker size. Actually, this feels like a bridge size. This might be a bridge size deck because here is a set of playing cards. So these are going to be poker size. Yeah, this is going to be bridge size. So you can see bridge size is narrower, right? In any case, the way these are set up, you have a keyword, and then you have a bunch of other text underneath that. So here we have accomplishment, and then it says abundance, fullness, satisfaction, a personal achievement. Then you have calm surrender, a pause, find peace and letting go, a new perspective, offers clarity. Let me just skip through to some more. I love this art. I really do. This one is forward movement, exciting energy, lean into it, welcome new opportunities. This one is possibilities, opportunity, be open to solutions beyond expectations. This is the sun, abundance by warmth, positive energy, light-filled. This is vulnerability, perceived weakness or powerlessness, fragile. Love this wise woman. Deep wisdom and intuitive insights, mystery, the inner realm, the world. So there's a good number of cards in here. Does it say how many? 48. This feels, yeah, it's pretty substantial. It's about the same size as a deck of playing cards. There's a good number of cards. They're really, really sweet size. I really like this. Actually, I'm curious what this would look like next to my deck and how it would feel. I think it actually might be might be interesting. Okay, so let's see. So here's Unicorn's Journey. Let's just see. I mean, it works. It's not particularly cohesive necessarily. I don't know. I'm on the fence. But also I'm working on the Unicorn's Journey Oracle, so I'm super, it's hard for me to think of other things next to it, but yeah. If you can think of a good like perfect pair for either the Soul Seeds or this one, definitely let me know. I'd like to pair this with a little mini. I think that's what I'm thinking. Let me see. Let me think. I wonder what something like this would look like next to, say, the Lightseer's pocket. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I really like those together. Oh, 3 of Cups and 10 of Swords. Resurrect, strengthen and restore, regeneration, and flourish. Oh, that's so powerful. Okay, I really dig that. Okay, so this will be a fun one to have as a mini. I also think this would pair really nicely with the, since I'm getting into minis, I also think this would pair really nicely with the Tarot of Oneness mini. If you're looking for a good Oracle deck. If anything, I would say it pairs even better with Tarot of Oneness. Yeah, look at that. Purposeful action with the Magician and Justice. Oof! Okay, so I really like it with both of these. So I'm stoked about these two by the creator of the Soul Trees. This one is a fun one. Okay, this was a totally self-indulgent purchase. I mean, they're all self-indulgent purchases. They're all for me. This is the Lovely Ladies Tarot by Brittany Keller. I picked this up, and now she also sells, I think, just a majors only and minors only version of this deck. I picked this up because Brittany Keller is actually the illustrator, the artist who illustrated the cover of my upcoming book by Llewellyn, Unlocking the Tarot. And when I saw she had a tarot deck, I just was like, I need it. I just need it. But it's also really pretty. Okay, so let me show it to you. I'm excited because, yeah. So I immediately went to her Etsy shop and purchased this. As always, you know, I'll have links to everything down below. So this is very much like a close-up profiles of people tarot. That's the vibe. It is gorgeous gold gilding. These are the backs. Lots of gold little foil details on the cards. So we have the Fool, the Magician. Like, this is the vibe, right? Here is Justice. Here is Judgment. Let's pull some other cards. Here's the Queen of Wands. There's the Ace of Cups. There's the 3 of Cups. There's a lot of really good body and people representation throughout this card, but all feminine presenting. Look at this 3 of Swords. Oh my gosh, I can't. The 8 of Swords. It's really pretty. It's really pretty, and this gives me like sassy feminine power vibes for sure, and I love it. Look at this Page of Pentacles. She's amazing. She's amazing. So I'm really excited about this. Straight up. Just as it's going to read for me very similar to like a Rider-Waite-Smith. There's not tons and tons of scenery in the cards, right? It's really focused on the people and their energy. But I think, oh God, look at that 4 of Swords. She is so pretty. So yeah, there's just some really, really great variety of people, variety of feminine presenting people in here, and I'm really excited about it. The guidebook I've not dug into yet at all. I'm just excited about the cards, to be honest. It's just one of those for me. So this is the Lovely Ladies Tarot by Brittany Keller, and I'm so happy to have this in my collection. Okay, let's talk about another book, I guess. So this was a Kickstarter that finally came in, and it is Corico, A Magical Year. This is actually a solo role-playing game that is tarot inspired or tarot based. It seems to be major arcana. It plays a role in this game. But this is a game you're meant to play, like, it can be like a solo thing, it can be like a journaling thing. There may be a way to play it with multiple players, but I have really been enjoying solo role-playing games lately as just something to kind of play around with when I want to just immerse myself in another world. I was a little bit bummed because I've been waiting forever for this, and there's been so many updates over literally, like, I'm pretty sure we're at about 2 years. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's how long it's been. And it's been waiting and waiting and waiting, so I got to the point where I stopped sort of reading my Kickstarter updates for this project. Heads up to people, read your Kickstarter updates. I know this is a creator too now, but I'd stopped reading. Apparently at some point along the way, when I first backed it, it was just this. It was a book. It was a book with the solo role-playing game in it. But at a certain point, She offered an upgrade to a boxed set that came with dice based in this world, because one of the mechanics of this is that you do need to stack dice. It's part of the mechanic of the game. You stack up D6 dice, which are 6-sided dice. And she also, the upgrade also included cards. Anyways, I totally missed it in the campaign updates. I didn't get a chance to get it. Kind of bummed. Not going to go get it now, but what I did do is purchased for myself a couple sets of D6, because you need around, I think she said you need around 21. Oh! Anyway, clearly I don't open these dice boxes very often, but I picked these out because I thought they were really, really pretty. These are actually white gold. What does the Chessex call them? Calls them, oh, marble, ivory, and black, but they just kind of have this sort of like old feeling to them. I thought they were really pretty. So there's 12 per box. So I bought 2 boxes of these from Amazon to use with this game. And I figure I'm never sad about getting extra dice. So I think I'm going to have fun going through this game at some point, but for now I'm just kind of keeping the dice with the book. It is, of course, beautifully illustrated. The premise of it is that you are a witch going off to, I think, school? Are you going to school? Wait, where's the little intro? Corco, A Magical Year. I think it's meant to be very like inspired by Studio Ghibli vibes. How does it work? Let's see. Okay, yeah. So you're producing, okay, this is a game for 1 player designed for contemplative solo play. It's a bubbling cauldron of simple rules and writing prompts stirred together to produce the story of a teenage witch spending a year away from home in an unfamiliar city called Corico. You don't need to have played a role-playing game before. This isn't much like most of them anyway. A passing familiarity with witches, urban exploration, and teenage drama is all the background you'll need. And it's told and tells you how the game works and how to play it, what you'll need. You'll need a tarot deck, and it goes from there. So now I'm curious if there is minors. Oh, there's stickers in the back. This book belongs to. We have stickers. That's exciting. That's really exciting, actually. Anyways, okay, sorry. I'm just curious if there's... See, I see Judgment, Justice. I see whole entries for if you've pulled majors, but I don't... Oh, yeah, Swords, Wands. Oh, cool. Okay, so there are things that happen with the minors. That's awesome. So you do need a tarot deck to play this particular solo RPG. I'm very excited about it. I have a feeling solo RPGs are like a thing I'm really getting super excited about lately, and so I'm slowly keeping my eyes out for good ones. I've picked up a few digital ones that I'm really enjoying, and this is adding to that. Speaking of which, the other solo RPG that I got in the last month or so is 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. I'm really excited about this. This is the opposite of this. Like, this is wholesome, kind of cozy vibes, and this is like really dark by comparison. So 1,000-Year-Old Vampire is a solo role-playing game where it's a journaling solo role-playing game where you're essentially playing as a vampire who is slowly accumulating and then losing memories. So it's a memory-based game. So the trigger warning to this would be if memory loss is a trigger, this is probably not going to be for you, because the whole premise is that throughout the game you have experiences, you collect memories, but then you also slowly forget, and that informs your story over time. So you can only hold on to so many memories at a time. This book is absolutely beautiful, and I love the idea of solo RPGs that have a physical book like this, and this one is really, really beautifully produced. The whole thing feels like I actually opened it and thought that I'd gotten a used copy because it had this like classic used bookstore built into the design. It says withdrawn, like it's withdrawn from the library, I guess. It's got this like Sharpie like scrawl on it here, and throughout you'll see it's very like... This middle section is kind of not great design-wise, but like the rest of it is all really cool looking. Lots of little scrawls and pieces of paper and things. There's even a section here. Actually, this is a cool section. I read this because I was curious. But this is actually a section about managing your personal experience emotionally going through this particular game. So this has like a chart where you can kind of determine where you're at as far as how you're feeling, if you're feeling okay, if your experience is still good, or if you need to take a break. I thought that was really cool. There's just some really cool resources here about solo RPG or solo gameplay in particular, especially journaling, immersive play like this, where you're really getting into a character. So anyways, this is really cool. Like I said, I've picked up a couple of others as well, but they're digital. These are the only 2 physical that I have right now. I am looking at another one called Colossal, but also I have limited time, so there's that. But I love the idea of journaling play, like a combination of journaling and play. And this I feel like is more immersive, like you're putting yourself into a new world. The other ones that I've played kind of give you a little bit of interpretive room, I feel like, to sort of apply it to your life. I'm not going to apply this to my life. Like, that's not how it's built. So, but anyways, it's really exciting and fun, and yeah. I think 2 is good for me for physical for right now. Oh, I said I was going to have a surprise in the middle of this video, so I guess now's as good a time as any let me find the surprise. So if you love this cloth that's been under the video the whole time, or like on the table the whole time, Peggy did quilt one specifically so that I could give one away. Not this exact version. It looks like this. So this is the one that I'm going to be doing a giveaway for. These are padded. They have a little bit of weight to them. They aren't super, super thin. And this one is purple and gold, and the gold fabric or the yellow fabric has little stars all over it. So this is the one I'm going to be giving away. Peggy made it. If you don't know who Peggy is, I'm so sorry. Hi, welcome to my channel. Peggy's my wife. And she makes all the bags and cloths you see, like these kinds of things that you see on my channel. She makes all the cloths you typically see laying on my table, all that kind of stuff. But she recently figured out how to make a perfect 5-pointed star, and I'm excited about it, and she's excited about it. And so she made a couple of these. I think this one, almost exactly like this, is going to be listed in her Etsy shop for sale, if it's still there when you see this video, question mark. And there's another one, a green one, that's also going up in the shop. I don't think she's going to make a ton of these because they are time consuming, but we did want to offer one and give one away. So first of all, important like disclaimery things. This giveaway is not affiliated with YouTube. You must be 18 and over to enter. And this is just my own private personal thing. The giveaway is open worldwide as long as I can like actually ship to you, legally ship to you, then it's open. And all you have to do to enter is somewhere in a comment down below while the giveaway is open, and it'll be open until I draw a name. I don't know exactly when, probably sometime over the next week or two. I will draw a name and post it. But anyways, while it's open, all you need to do is leave a comment with the word, not an emoji, the word star, S-T-A-R, somewhere in your comment. It can be by itself. You can literally just make a comment and it says only star, or put the word star somewhere in a sentence. It doesn't matter as long as the word star is in your comment, because I use a name picker that literally searches for a word in the comments, and that's how it picks a name. So when I pick the winner, I will post it to my community tab here on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure you check back regularly to the community tab to see if I posted the winner. The winner will just need to contact me with your shipping information so that we can pop this in the mail for you. But I am excited that she's made one for giveaway because these are so pretty, and they're actually really a generous size. Like you can lay a good number of cards down. Let me just show you with my own deck real quick. But you can like lay down, like it fits a good number. What is it? It's like 5 or 6 cards across at the widest point. So you can definitely lay down a pretty decent reading on these if you want to, and otherwise they're just pretty to look at. We have one like just on a table in our living room, just looking cute. So, you know, there's that too, but I just wanted to share. Okay, now let's get on to the last couple of things in the roundup. Okay, I have to talk to you all about the Lucky Potion Oracle and the expansions, Shadows, Ice, and Alchemy, because these came in via Kickstarter. It was the Kickstarter that I actually backed was for the, I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe it was for the Shadows expansion for this deck, but there's been 2 prior expansions, Alchemy and Ice, plus the original base deck. I had this deck for a long time, never used it, and rehomed it. And when this came out, it was at the perfect time because my whole way I work with cards and do divination has shifted quite a bit since then. And I do have a lot of play in my practice that I didn't have back then. And I just immediately knew how this would work with my practice now. So I've already taken everything out pretty much except for the certificate of authenticity because these boxes are immediately going away in storage. Because one of the things you could get when you backed it was this really cute little neoprene pouch that just holds everything so perfectly. This deck is not in order. All the expansions are combined already. In the original box, you got this little rolled up cute little mat that you could put you could use it as a rolling mat, or you could use it to put your card on. There's a dice. Anyway, the way that this deck works is that these are linen cardstock, by the way. Really nice linen card, like it's linen finish, and the cardstock itself is like a playing card type stock. You can tell. This is so innovative and cool, and I love it so much. And I loved it when I first got it too, and I love the way the guidebooks were written. I just wasn't thinking about how to work it in my practice. Now I'm good. I totally understand how to work with it, and I'm really excited to have them all in. So basically I repurchased it and then bought all the expansions. That's what happened. So here's the story with this. The way that this is set up is each card is a potion, and each potion has a primary keyword. Oh, we're just going to leave that one out. Each one has a primary keyword. Look at this pixel one that says enhance. These are all hand illustrated and hand painted, and yet they almost look digital. Like that's how smooth the artwork is. It's incredible. But here's the really amazing thing about this. So first of all, there are suits and there also are expansions. So if you want to work with this deck a certain way, and I did this actually over the weekend prior to filming this video, you can actually stack the cards up in their respective color piles, and then pull from specific piles depending on what it is that you're needing to work on or want to work on or want to get into. Like if you wanted to just pull a fire and an ice potion, you could do that. You could pull from just the shadow deck. You could do any combination. Okay. One of the things that I really enjoyed doing over the weekend is I created a reading by breaking them all out into their individual piles, and then I rolled a dice. So there are 7, if you have all the expansions, there are 7 suits. So what I did is I laid out all 7 piles and I would roll a D8, an 8-sided die. This is me being an absolute geek for a second, okay? Because gamifying stuff has been so fun for me. These are my really pretty dichroic glass unicorn dice. Okay, so I'd pull out an 8-sided die. I'd lay out the 7 piles and I'd roll. Okay, so I get, this is a hard dice to read. They're very pretty, but they're hard to read. Okay, so I got 6. So I would pull a card from the 6 pile and I'd lay it out. And I did that until I had pulled, I think, 6 cards. This was part of a guided thing that I was doing in Dawn Michelle's membership, but it really was such a cool reading. It was the coolest reading I had all weekend. Anyway, and then, so I kept doing that. Now, if I rolled an 8, I would just pick whatever pile I wanted. But otherwise, I would set them up and I would pick in order until I had, I think, 6 different potions. And the way I saw it is as each potion, and again, this is largely inspired by some stuff we were doing for Dawn Michelle's membership, her Weaver's Fair over the weekend. And that's where the hybrid came about. But what I would do is so what I did is, again, guided by that practice, I would pull until I had 6. Once I had each potion, I would then roll the die that comes with the potion, Lucky Potion Oracle. Now this die is a 6-sided die, and there's 2 each of a potion showing it being broken, a potion just whole. So here's the potion whole, there's a potion breaking, and then there's a potion sharing one. So these basically, if you see this one, it means drink the potion. If you see this, it means share the potion. And if you see that, it means you break the potion, okay? And what that does, this is so cool. Anyways, what that does is when you're looking into the guidebook, you go to your suit color. So this is blue that's out on the table, right? You'd go to blue and you'd look for the influence card. They're not alphabetical once you get into the section, which I do find mildly annoying, but it is what it is. So you find your influence. You read this part and it reads narrative. So let's say you've pulled the influence potion. Okay, there's our influence potion. And it says, a sea anemone sways in the clear blue water of this potion. Its tendrils touch every part of the bottle without concern or force. Even through the glass, you can feel the gentle caress of this creature connecting you and the bottle before the liquid ever leaves the container. And then there's 3 smaller entries, each with a matching symbol to the die. So drink the potion, share the potion, or break the potion. So let's roll. Okay, I'm sharing the potion. So here's the write-up. As the bottle is passed among loved ones, your sense of self expands, suddenly seeing different perspectives and new angles from those around you. An unsolvable problem suddenly has an answer when viewed from this new viewpoint. So it's written in a narrative style. You get to really interact with it. And then what I was doing is I had multiple cards. So I saw each individual potion as going into a larger potion, if that makes any sense. And so I looked at each one, rolled for each one, read the entry for each one, and then at the end, when I had all my ingredients, all my potions, I assumed I was mixing them all into one big brew, right? And then I rolled to see if for that brew, that big potion, I was going to share it, drink it, or smash it, right? And then I wrote a write-up or an overall meaning based on that final result. What does it mean when all these potions intermingle? What is the net result? It's a way of crafting a reading that is really cool and takes you into a more gamified sort of space that was really super fun. Anyway, really excited about this. So excited to have it come in. And it was so funny because I was messaging a little bit with Richard. And then when my package came in from Richard, because I literally bought everything pretty much, he sent me as a surprise little gift one of his original artworks. And it was for the influence card. So this is actually the original, and I am legitimately so here for this. Like you can see the color study happening on the side and little scribbles, and this kind of thing is one of those things that always just makes me feel so grateful for being in a community of people who create beautiful things and getting to experience those beautiful things as somebody who consumes product or purchases products, right? But like, look at this. Incredible. Incredible. So anyway, very, very exciting. to see how this, like even down to the numbering of the card is all part of the illustration. Like I can't, amazing. Very cool. So anyway, I didn't only buy the Lucky Potion Oracle when I backed his Kickstarter. I also purchased this. So we're going to talk about this. Here, let me pick this up first. Anyway, it's pretty easy if you're using this to navigate the guidebooks because each one is color coded, right? So if you pull an orange card, you know you're looking at the alchemy. If you pull red, you know you're looking at ice. If you pull purple, you know you're looking at shadows. And then there's two different kinds of like blue, a green and a different purple in this one. So this is like a pinky purple. This is like in here is like a purple. Like you can totally tell the difference, right? So anyways, it's really easy to figure out where to look for your card. And I just love how everything fits so beautifully. Also, these are square cards, but they shuffle. Let me just show you. They shuffle so well together because they're linen, so they are really easy to shuffle. Anyways, it's very satisfying to have everything in this cute little satchel. It all fits so nicely. And what I do is I just roll up this little mat. I don't even know if I need this little mat. I just like that it exists. But I roll that up and tuck it in beside like that into there. And then I just pop the dice on top and zip the works up and put it away. So there's the Lucky Potion Oracle, and it's fabulous, and I love it. Okay, this is the most indulgent thing because I don't even know practically like how to work this into my practice yet. If you have this and use this, I would love to hear how. But anyways, this is the Exquisite Familiars. I was obsessed about this when he was first creating this. I remember following it on social media. Richard, this is Odd Mix Market, by the way, the creator, Richard Howdy Jr. He just makes really interesting, innovative, creative, fun things. And this just was so fun to me. But anyways, inside the box, you have this gorgeous, nice, like weighted kind of wood carved Exquisite Familiar card stand, which is amazing for this deck specifically because of how it's designed. The guidebook, which we're going to talk about. There's a set of mini cards here. This little mini deck, all linen black core cardstock, I'm fairly sure, just by the feel. But this little mini deck shows these completed creatures, these whole creatures, each with their respective number, which is great. So you get like a mini little oracle deck in here. There's a total of 33 creatures, individual creatures. And then here, it literally is a spot that says, keep your favorite coin here and flip it to help decide between heads and tails. So if you draw a card, you can decide whether that card is being the head or that card is being the tail. Because you can see it here. Here is a completed creature. And then here in card 1, we have 2 of card 1, right? So you can actually put them together and you have that particular creature is completed. Or it could go this way. Well, okay, that's the same in this case. But like you also have this creature, which is card 2. So you could be, this card could be the head or this card could be the tail. So that's why the coin flip could be handy. So you make new creatures by combining them. And they all line up so that they make sense, right? Which, so the card stand, if you're working with these, it just, like, how thoughtful to be able to like put it out and like work with this creature, right? And what that means. So, and I kind of want to, hold on. Oh yeah, there's your certificate of authenticity. It's sitting at the bottom of the box. And this is a really nice hard foam tray that lifts out really easy. Okay, then the way the guidebook is set up, this just reminds me of my childhood, truly, is it's a flip book. So you can consult your handbook. It says, first summon your Exquisite Familiar, then consult your Legacy Handbook, then permanently customize your Exquisite Familiar. So it talks to you about how to use it. And so for each character, you have lore, wisdom, and affirmations. So if you were to pull, this is Pisces Vita, that's its Latin name, and then you can create for it a common name if you want. Here is Pisces Capitonium, so then you would be combining card 1 and card 5, and you would work both of the meanings in, right? Or if it was, let's say this one was the head, and this one was the butt, now you have Oculo Vita, right? And it changes the vibe. It changes the vibe. So what I want to know, actually, let's compare. Let's see. If for the card 1, are these the same? They're not. Okay, so you get a little bit of different lore depending on whether you pull it as the head or the tail. You also get different lore whether you, it says choose one. Okay, hold on. Okay. First, summon your exquisite familiar. Okay, so it says, shuffle the cards while visualizing your desire for guidance. Let the deck concoct a perfectly mixed familiar to guide you through your day. Pull 2 cards from the deck. Decide which side should be heads and which side should be tails. If you can't decide, flip a coin. Your newly summoned familiar is one of over 1,000 possible magical creatures that can be created with this deck. Then, match the numbers on your 2 cards to the corresponding pages in this specially designed Legacy Handbook. Take some time to read the exquisitely written lore. You'll notice that each familiar has already been assigned a scientific name, but you can also personalize your familiar by giving it a common name. Then, each side contains words of wisdom and affirmations. These that your familiar does not yet possess. When you summon a familiar, fill in the circle next to the wisdom and affirmation you'd like to learn. Do this for both the head side and the tail side. These are permanent choices, and the remaining unlearned wisdom and affirmation will remain unlearned forever. If you visit a page where you've already made these choices, you will not need to choose again. Eventually, you will have encountered every head and every tail in the deck. The result will be a unique set of familiars that will be unlike anyone else's. So the idea is that this is very gamified, right? So like, let's say you've encountered Aquacore as the butt for the first time. You choose which is going to be its wisdom and which is going to be its affirmation. You fill in the bubble, and that is now what is true for this, for you, forever, right? And then later, if you pull this with, say, Pisces, now you've got Pisces Aquacore. Maybe you chose, for Pisces, maybe you chose the second wisdom and the first affirmation, and then that stays forever. It's so cool. It's just a really creative, unique thing. I want to see what's in the back of the book. So we have special thanks. Yeah, so we just have a special thanks and thank you here at the back. Lore and Wisdom is by Judy Black, and the affirmations are by Holly Adams Easley, who is Holly Enchanted. Oh, I know Holly Enchanted. That's awesome. And then the concept and illustrations are by Richard Howdy Jr., lives in Texas with his husband and son. In his spare time, he reads Oracle and Tarot cards, collects crystals, and creates stunning artwork. I just think this is the coolest thing ever in divination. I just think this is so fun. And this and Lucky Potion, again, are both so innovative and creative and gamified and amazing. And I'm obsessed. That's the punchline. And now I need to find a coin that can permanently live in here. So let me go into my coins. Who do I want to sacrifice for this? How about that one? Who's this for? What does this say? Yeah, I don't want to put my poo coin in there yet. Yeah, maybe this one. Maybe this one. Yeah, it's kind of the odd one out size-wise. So I think I'll pop that in there. And get rid of the little cardboard. Maybe I'll put the cardboard one, actually. I'll put the cardboard one in the bottom. The only thing I don't love about this, and actually it makes sense that this is in split. It's a split deck tray. That makes sense given the context of the deck, right? Because of course, if you need 2 copies of everything, right? Because if you don't have, so here's 2 and 3 and 4. Wait, where's, oh, there's the other 2 and there's the other one. Oh, one of these actually flipped over. That's what happened. Okay. This makes sense because of the nature of the deck, but yeah, I did get a little bit of a corner ding, just a tiny one, just being kind of side by side. I don't love this as far as deck storage, but like it's such a cool little set that I think I'm actually going to store it in the box. I've got an extra card, a sticker sticking around there. Anyway, it's very, very cool, and I love that I have this now. Okay, last thing to show you. I know this video has been ages long, but that's okay. The last thing I have to show you is Rise Again by Vanessa Vorpach. This is a local BC area creator. I've never heard of this before. I've never heard of this creator before, but this just blew me away with its absolute beauty. And it is gorgeously designed. It is an indie creation. And it has, the box is magnetic, but it opens like there. I usually expect it to open like here and like lift this up, but it actually opens at the top. This is a really just beautiful, I've already opened all the plastic, but this is just a beautiful set. I don't think I'm going to keep it in this box as lovely as it is, but just because it just doesn't, I don't know if it makes sense for me, but it's so beautiful. So the cards are actually held together with one of those silicone elastic bands. I'm not going to keep that on there because I do think it's not great for the cards. In fact, one's already got a little bit of a thingy, but this is literally meant to be one of those like silicone bracelets. It says Rise Again. Maybe I'll wear that for a little bit. I kind of like that. Anyway, but these cards, there's not very many of them. I wouldn't say this is like a deck that's meant to be like it doesn't feel like a divination deck. There's only, let's see, this book is beautiful too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30 cards. Actually less, probably 29 cards. And each card just has a beautiful 2-page spread. Okay. I have something to report. So while I was getting ready to show this, I actually totally wrecked my book. So book people are going to cry. Don't cry. This was totally user error. And I'm going to ask if Dawn Michelle can help me fix it because I think she'll have some ideas. Maybe Danny will have some ideas. Maybe some of you will have some ideas. The binding in this book was very, very tight. And the way that it was bound, the page, the signatures were separating from the binding as soon as I really opened it fully, and they are like fully. So I just went ahead and completed very carefully, fully separating it because I need to rebind it somehow. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. It might look really cute in like a ring bound. I don't know if I just need to trim this. Like, I don't know what the plan is going to be, but the binding was really, really tight and the paper was really stiff. And I think the combination just didn't work as soon as I opened the book up all the way. So if the creator sees this, I'm so sorry. This is, like I said, I like books to be able to, like, I need to be able to open it, and I just opened it a little too much. Usually that just kind of like bends this back portion a bit, which I did do, you can see. And then I can actually see everything, but it couldn't handle it. This was, again, user error. But the text in here is so beautiful, and the entries in here are so beautiful, and I want to be able to work with this, and the cards are gorgeous. So let me get back to the point here now that I can stop being horrified that I like totally wrecked the book. Whew. Anyway, this is the back of the cards. They're super gorgeous. It's like a rose petal with gold, and these cards have really beautiful ideas. So here's the smell card. Let's just take a look at this. So it says, the scent of blooming lilacs, May Lindstrom's The Good Stuff, freshly baked bread, and my dad's barbecue instantly bring me back to a world of comfort where my heart is filled with love. I can feel every single cell in my being dancing with joy. And she talks about, even when I was a little girl, I quickly become aware of the infinite soothing powers of my sense of smell. So I came up with this game that I still play and honor to this day. It's the first time I'm sharing this with anybody, and I hope you dare to come along with me on this sensorial ride. This game is simple and intuitive. The only thing you require to participate are childlike curiosity, presence, and a functioning sense of smell and memory. Close your eyes whenever you experience a scent that brings you delight and evokes a feeling of love and anticipation. Take a deep inhale, record the exact scent profile, and file it away in your imaginary cabinet of scent memories. Register every single note and emotion the scent awakens within you. If your memory can handle it, add any other worthy details to enrich your scent file. Once you register your scent file, close it with a deep sense of gratitude for your body's incredible capability of capturing the aliveness of the world we're living in. Open your eyes and say to yourself, I look forward to experiencing the scent again whenever I want and need to. The more often you smell a flower on a sidewalk, breathe in an oven-warm cookie before you take the first bite, or inhale during a hug from a loved one, the more extensive your scent file collection becomes. Whenever you find yourself craving that scent and the memory or emotion it creates, you can go to your imaginary cabinet and experience it all over again. The more frequently you take advantage of your scent memory, the more connected your inner sensorial pathways become. Then she says, to this day, my go-to all-time can't live without scent is my mom's skin. Whenever I miss her, which is pretty much every day, I go to my scent cabinet and grab the well-used file, close my eyes, take a deep inhale, and imagine hugging my mom and smelling her sweet scent of unconditional love, safety, and support. As I do this, our physical distance of thousands of miles disappears for a brief moment, and her scent comforts my heart and warms me up from the inside out. I hope you too can find the infinite layers of sensorial delights and the immense joy that they can bring at any given moment when you need them. And then there's questions to ask yourself. What is the last scent I remember taking in? Which feelings and sensations did the scent evoke in me? Can I pick one scent which truly makes me happy and is easily accessible whenever I need a pick-me-up? There's a strong self-care bent to this deck that I really like, and the way that the guidebook is written. But I really just fell in love with how beautiful the cards were, how gorgeous the message is. We have all the senses, of course. We have sight and smell and touch and taste. Try, touch, cry. Like, look how beautiful. Laugh, scream, dance. It's a very evocative play. Move. I really just fell in love with how beautiful this was. I feel like this is something forgive, fall, rise, explore, ask, trust, stand up, love, choose. This throws me because this totally looks like the Ace of Cups, and this totally looks like the Seven of Cups, but it's only 6 cups. It throws me a little bit. And then shine. These are just really, really beautiful, and I feel like I feel like it was just something cool, something local, and I really wanted to support it. And I still do, and I'm still excited about it. And again, this is a beautiful quality book. This was me screwing it up. So I'm just going to have to get some help from my friends on how to preserve it. I think the best bet is going to be to trim and then rebind it in some fashion. But maybe, like I said, maybe just a ring bind or something. I don't have a ring bind cutter thingy, but I'm sure there's a way. I'm going to fix it and still work with it because I think it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. But I think the cards are also just infinitely usable all by themselves. So for now, because I've totally made a mess of this, I definitely need to keep everything in its little kit and figure out the book and then go from there. Like if I have to keep it in leaflets, I totally will. But in any case, that is called Rise Again by Vanessa Vorpak. And that, my friends, is everything for my recent deck roundup. I know we've been here a long time. I've made a total mess of my cloth here, but these are all the beautiful things that came in this month. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this recent deck roundup. Obviously, there's more than just decks here. We had books and other goodies and role-playing games, all kinds of fun stuff. But thank you so much for hanging out. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn fam, channel members. Thank you so much for your support. For everybody watching this, your likes, your comments, your subscribes, the fact that you watch these things makes such a huge difference for what I do, and I appreciate you so much. Just a reminder, if you're watching this and you want to see anything in more detail, please let me know in the comments down below. Upvote each other's comments so I know what you all are most interested in seeing more about. That will really help me to plan my future content. And for now, thank you all so much. And until next time, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.